You know, if the firing range is built here at La Texan, and remember that's still a big if right now, the military says they'll shoot off between 6.79 million and 14 gajillion rounds every year, right here over our main water source. I don't think we'll have a problem if they just don't miss. Make sure you guys hit the bullseye, all right? Someplace else that's missing the target, the Department of Corrections. Join me as I take a closer look at DOC. It's no secret, contraband at the Department of Corrections. Over the years, there seems to have been an increase in the amount of contraband coming into the Manguilao prison. In fact, I don't know what story we hear more. DOC finding things that don't belong in jail, or DOC telling us how hard they're working to keep those things out of jail.
Those who are trying to smuggle in any contraband into this facility, that it is a felony charge and they will be prosecuted. They'll be prosecuted. We find contraband every other day, if not every day up here. We are doing our best to keep the drugs out of DOC. That's what's puzzling to the Director of Corrections at this point, is how it's able to make it in. We'll come to the conclusion of how it's really coming in.
Yeah, what a big mystery. I wonder how these drugs and cell phones are getting into the prison. With 2 corrections officers being busted in a big way in recent memory, former DOC officer Eugene Sunega serving 57 months in federal prison for smuggling in 49 doses of ice, and this year, former DOC officer Ron Pereira caught bringing in over an ounce of meth into the prison. It's only natural to wonder if the Department of Corrections is really the Department of Corruption. An inmate almost beaten to death in what was supposed to be a maximum security area, the inmate never fully recovering from his injuries, and he now lies dead. Inmates routinely discovered with cell phones. In fact, a relative of mine who just did time at the prison told me at night all you hear is inmates having phone sex with their significant others. And remember, an inmate in maximum security was busted for using his cell phone to threaten to kill his ex-chick. Holes in the fence at the prison, drones crash landing on the prison grounds, and officers pissing positive.
They both tested positive for crystal meth.
Could it get any worse at DOC? The answer, yes. When 5 DOC officers, including DOC spokesman and Internal Affairs head Lieutenant Jeff Limo, were arrested in August after an investigation by GPD's Mandania Task Force revealed 2 inmates' cell phones linked the group to crystal meth being smuggled into the prison and bribes being taken to help move the ice and contraband around the jail, things began to make a little more sense when these officers and a couple other GovGuam employees were caught with their hands in the keki jar.
It's a sad day for DOC.
One of the officers arrested admitted to smuggling drugs and contraband into the prison in fast food bags and pizza boxes. And just who are the 2 inmates and why are they so connected? Bruno Simmons has a long history with the department. Back in 2010, he was busted with a smartphone after someone noticed he was running a Facebook account from behind bars. He's currently serving a long sentence for robbery, and it keeps getting longer because he keeps getting busted. Sean Johnson has a rap sheet just as long. How were these hardened criminals able to get officers to bend? Did the officers do it for the money? Days after the big bust, the pair were busted again after a shakedown in which officers discovered ice in Simmons' cell, and both Simmons and Johnson had cell phones again. Also a point to ponder, if any scam with officers and inmates has been going on longer than we think, did we jeopardize more serious charges that would have stemmed from a longer investigation being handed down in a rush to stop the flow of drugs into DOC? Is GovGuam's notoriously weak prosecution going to be able to do what it takes to get a guilty verdict? Limo, kept out of a jail cell and allowed to sleep in a training room next to the director's office, quote, for his safety. Why? He was obviously pretty buddy-buddy with the inmates. It wouldn't be fair to stereotype them all, but with such a tight-knit unit running the show, would it be fair to assume more officers knew what was going on? Would it be reasonable to doubt Limo's work as an internal affairs chief? Is a federal takeover of the prison on the way? There's no doubt it's a tough job to be a corrections officer.
Especially up here in correctional work, it's very difficult. It's front line, especially. Your job is to maintain order and security, safety and security within the units.
And when I spoke with some of them, they say it's a job you have to have done to be able to understand.
Until you walk in our shoes and do what we do, you'll never know what we do. That's why we do it. We're the chosen ones to do it.
So if we walk in your shoes and do what you do, we'll never know what you do until we try doing what you do. But for now, we cannot know what you do because we didn't do it.
You just didn't do it. You know?
What size shoe are you?
13.
Yeah, see, I cannot walk in that. And they told me no matter what you hear on the news, it's not the convicts calling the shots at DOC, it's the corrections officers.
The officers run the inmates.
Another day at the office, we just roll with whatever. Look at the morale here, even with all the media coverage about what just happened. We're still going to continue to roll our morale. No matter what, we're not going to let that Dep Corps spirit go down.
I think just give you guys more overtime. That'll make everyone's morale go up.
Well, actually, overtime's always a give. Why? Because not too many people want to do what we do. A lot of people just bail out on us and go to other agencies, but it is what it is. At the end of the day, in regards to, in spite of all the limited resources, we still make it happen at the end of the day.
Now, I'm pretty sure you guys are hiring, right? There's a few openings. So what qualities are you looking for in a corrections officer?
Anyone that's willing to engage with the prisoners. Again, our mission is rehabilitation and reintegration. Anyone that's willing to engage. That's it. Because yes, they can be as big or as little. But when they come into the compound, it's a different story how they react to the prisoners. But other than that, it's all about heart. No crying. Just stand and bang.
How's morale nowadays?
So good. Right there. Dep Corps.
Have you heard that one they said DOC stands for drugs or cell phone?
No, I haven't. It's untrue.
It's not very funny, right?
No, it's not.
That's not funny at all. I don't think it was funny.
No, it's not. I'm already getting hot right now.
In the short time I hung out with the corrections officers, it was clear morale was doing much better than I thought it would be, despite poor working conditions in a severely overcrowded prison, a shortage of manpower, and inconsistent leadership. A lot of these men and women strive to make the most with what they're given. But according to a former head of internal affairs at DOC, to fix the problem, you first got to admit there's a problem.
From the inside, though, that's where the problems start. Until you can weed out the people that don't need to be there, they're going to have the same continual problems year after year after year.
GPD says there are more arrests on the way at DOC. And maybe, just maybe, putting the island's prison under the spotlight will get rid of its dark secrets. Hey, gotta take a selfie, man. Don't take it for granted. Could be gone tomorrow. I want to thank you guys for watching episode 4 of the Malafunkshun Show. As always, be safe, Guahan. My name's Chris. Adios!
Goodbye, 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 goodbye.
Adios!